Are you ready to unleash your full potential and become unstoppable in your success and leadership?
Welcome to the Unleashed and Unstoppable podcast, where we provide powerful insights and strategies for coaches, corporate leaders, and entrepreneurs. I'm Alexanne Carter.
And I'm Carol Register, and we're certified master neurocoaches who are passionate about helping you overcome your limiting beliefs and optimize your performance.
Each week, we'll be sharing actionable tips and strategies using neuroscience, from interviews with industry experts to solo episodes, to help you lead a life of power, purpose, and possibility on your own terms.
Join our community of like-minded individuals. Hit subscribe now, and let's be unleashed and unstoppable together.
Hey, leader. Welcome. We are so excited to have an amazing, no BS life and leadership coach, Katie Sampayo, here with us today. And I'm honest with you, when I say the no BS, like if you are looking for a coach to help you get out of your own way, which, Carol and I are all about, right? With our neuro hacks, Katie is the one that's going to help you truly be able to accelerate and amplify results in all areas of your life. I have the privilege not only work with Katie, with her website as a partner and being a great friend of hers. She's also, provided me the opportunity to also work one-on-one inside the Life Redesign program to help be part of that transformation and really helping take people's lives to the next level. On a recent trip in Costa Rica, because something that she loves to do is organize retreats, she shared something in that retreat that really stuck with me. And I think it's really important that everybody hears that. For her, it's not just about really like impacting lives. She does the work that she does because she wants to change people's lives. And I got to witness, again, firsthand at this retreat as people literally, like miracles were unfolding in front of our eyes with the transformation that our clients got to experience at this retreat. So I'm really excited to have Katie finally on the podcast to share a little bit about her journey, how she stays motivated. Because one thing if I know about Katie is that she does not hold back from taking action. And one thing, if you're really looking at going from that next level from 6 to 7 or 7 to 8, it's about being able to take quick action. Kind of like talk about that all the time, right? It's about the decisions that you make, which impact the actions that you take, which will impact the results you generate. And so Katie is a beautiful example of what that actually looks like. And I'm excited to kind of unpack, the neural side of like what really goes on in the head of Katie to support her in these actions. She's really built a life by redesign, which is, the name of one of her programs, because she leads by vision. She leads by committed action. And she really leads by I think it's more my motto. Like you've got one life to live, you might as well live it to the fullest. And Katie definitely does a beautiful job of doing that. So welcome, Katie. Carol and I are so excited to have you here today. So why don't you just share a little bit about your journey where you went from corporate into, starting your day surfing the waves in Mexico, leading these retreats and transforming the lives of others that you impact today?
Yeah, well, I did the traditional thing that most people do is right after college, you go get a corporate job. Because,
It's the thing, right? It's the thing.
20 years, you don't really know what you want out of life at 20. You just know that you want mentorship, you want to be learning, you want to be growing. Yeah. And that's why I took the corporate job, because the person that hired me, who would be my direct mentor, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to learn so much from this woman. And that's all I care about. I could have cared less about the company. And that's the truth. It's 100% because it was in banking. And that's not anything that I'm interested in at all. But it was a chance to work under her in the marketing department. And she's like a marketing and branding genius. And pretty much everything that I really know about marketing and branding, I really give her credit. Like and even going to networking events and pushing me, it was just incredible. Like we had side hustle meetings that we hid from the CEO, and I built my entire website with her from scratch. I built all my first lead magnets for my personal business while I was working there from scratch. I hired my first coach with her mentorship on how to do that, like all within the year and a half that I was in corporate. So when I was ready to leave, I was ready to go, it was, let's go. And I started off in the health and fitness industry. So I started by becoming a personal trainer. and leaving to work at one of our local gyms, which again, that was my intention was never to stay. It was just mentorship, leadership. This is new. I want to learn from really smart people who have been doing this for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then I gave myself like a year and a half, same thing. And I went out completely on my own and started my own wellness company, wellness business after that. And that's when I wrote my #1 best-selling cookbook and got on, every TV station in Maryland and did all of these things. And that all happened by between the ages of 21 and 24. So there was a lot. There was a lot that was going on. And I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I went to school, and I got a marketing degree from Towson.
Nice.
I love business,
Yeah.
I just didn't like, you're like, what's that thing? What's the thing that it's gonna be?
Yeah.
What's the business really gonna be? Like I actually was going to launch a food health and a health food product. That's something that and then I was like, wait. Actually, I don't think that I do want to do that. And then I was going to go to culinary school and open a restaurant for healthy eating. Like I always wanted to do something around that and food. And I was like, no, I don't want to work and live a lifestyle like that. Like, so that's what kept pulling me back into what's the lifestyle that I want to live? What's the lifestyle that I want to live?
Yeah.
Yes, I can do that. And yes, I'm interested in that. And that doesn't match the lifestyle that I want to live. And that's what allowed me to build the business that I have today, which is what I teach other people, which is it's being built from what's the lifestyle that you want to live. And then the business gets to be supporting the lifestyle that you want to live. And that's exactly what's happened now, where I have a fully remote coaching company where I've built in immersive live retreats where I'm in exotic places all over the world with my clients, which was a dream of mine, a vision of mine about 9 years ago. And it started happening about 8 years ago. And it's because this is the lifestyle that I want. And it's actually the heart and soul of the company. And yeah, that's
Yeah,
how it
I
all
love it.
unfolded.
One of the things that this reminds me of something that Alex and I learned in our neuro coaching certification, is it doesn't matter what you're doing if you're building your ladder against the wrong wall. And what you're leaning into here is so powerful, defining what is the lifestyle you want to live and letting that be your guiding compass to, weed things out. No, this is not for me because that's not the lifestyle I want to live. Yes, this is for me because this is the lifestyle I want to live, because we can gain the whole world and literally lose our souls by building the ladder up that wrong wall. And so so powerful and so important. So when you figured out that, no, this is the lifestyle I wanted to live, like what was your next action step from there?
Well, I mean, there was many action steps, but that's when I left corporate.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that, the first step was quit the job. Take the leap of faith and leave, because that was not an infrastructure that was allowing me to live my life. And the biggest I mean, I always knew it, but when I started dating someone internationally overseas, when I started traveling outside of the United States, for the very first time I ever did that, it was right after I graduated college, and it was right before I started that job. It was that summer. And I met someone who I ended up dating for a year and a half who lived in Greece. And it was so difficult to be in the relationship because, well, I could only go over there for a maximum of 2 weeks the whole year. It already takes a whole day to fly over there, a whole day to fly back,
Yeah.
And I was just like, it actually put a bit of an urgency. When we have urgency to not take a couple of years to figure out how to get out of it. I was like, I already knew I didn't want to be there. So it created the urgency to be like, okay, well, the longer I stay here, the longer I'm prevented from going and seeing him and living a life with him again, like back to the lifestyle that I want to live. And I really just, like a lot of people, I dreaded going into that office wearing these stupid clothes that I would never wear, to be honest, and like putting on this show every single day. I felt like I was putting on a show and talking to people I really had nothing in common with, and I just was tolerating because they were there and they're my coworkers and kind of had to deal with them or whatever. Like it was like there were so many, this is the truth, and it was freezing in there. There was no natural sunlight. Every single that's like very standard. It's freezing. You have your little mini space heater at your desk. Like I mean, let's it's funny, right? This is exactly what people are doing. And I'm like, I just got to get out of here. Like I'm like, I don't align with the culture. Maybe there's other companies that I could have, but it was banking. It was a bit rigid. It was very masculine dominated. There was harassment happening in the office. I was harassed. My boss was sexually harassed, things like that. And it was seen as normalized, even upon me leaving. In the HR interview out, we said it, and they didn't. They said, "Oh, well, that's normal." I'm like, "That's not normal. You asked me for my opinion. Okay, you're not willing to change it." That was kind of the final straw for my boss and me. So she quit, then I quit.
Yeah.
How it works. We were the whole marketing department, so they were screwed. When we left.
It's still going on. It's amazing, Mike, because, I have somebody dear to me that has worked in corporate in Europe. It doesn't matter where in the world it is. And who wants to live their lives that way, stuck in a cubicle with a space heater and, fluorescent lighting all day? And here in the US, it's often accompanied by a long commute. So is that how we want to spend our minutes?
No. And like it didn't take me long to just make a decision, and it's like, okay, well, what steps do I get to take in order for this to happen? Okay, well, what's my exit plan? Well, I want to get my website done. I want to have a lead magnet out there because I know I want to start building a list. I want to start blah, blah, blah. Like you go through the steps. Okay, so I get to hire a coach to learn how to do that stuff. Check. I want to have it complete. Check. I also want to have my personal training certification and I want to have an offer made before I walk out the door. Done. So that's exactly what happened. Like it was like boom, 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 boom. I studied everything after work during my personal hours. And then I left and, you don't want to think 20 steps ahead, actually. That stops people from taking action. It's like, what's the next step? Well, the next step is just to get out of here. The next step is then I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna now work for this gym and learn. I didn't know what was gonna happen after that. That's next step. And if I was like trying to pre-plan all of that, who knows when I would have left.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like, okay. And then I got there and I just knew that, okay, I get to have a certain amount of clients that I want to have. Because it was pretty much like owning my own business when I worked for them. It's 100% commission. There was no paycheck. So it really was me already stepping into entrepreneurship because if I didn't show up, if I didn't book my own sales calls and get people to actually commit to a contract with me, I made no money.
Yeah.
So
it was training ground for entrepreneurs. Yeah.
It's great. I'm so grateful for that. Like that's why I know that I'm great at sales because I was like, okay, from the beginning, like it's just about connecting with people and relating to people and being authentic. So like when I sold personal training packages, and this is what I see with a lot of new entrepreneurs, they're like, well, I don't know how to do all this other stuff. I said, well, what do you know how to do? You start authentically with your experience. So at the time I was a yoga certified, bar certified, and that was my thing, Pilates, bar, all that stuff. I didn't know much about weightlifting and stuff like that. So I positioned myself where I actually had weightlifter clients for real that came to me because I said, listen, I can get you to lift so much by increasing your flexibility. And I enrolled them into 6 months or a year of personal training. So I ended up like training them in this very unique way. And it was authentic to me. And I wasn't pretending to be somebody that I wasn't. And I became one of the top trainers at the gym from nothing in 90 days. Might have even been less than that. So I had already 3x'd my income from corporate in 90 days.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's it. Taking the messy action, right? Not getting stuck in this is one of the things Alex mentioned to me that, your strength and ability to not get stuck in the overanalysis, the analysis paralysis that we often experience. Oh, I got to get this in place. Oh, I got to have that in place. Oh, And I can so relate to your story this year in particular. Alex will tell you, talk about challenges. I had incredible challenges, hospitalized 3 times, broke my foot, lost the use of my feet in January for a brief time period, lost my brother, my baby brother, had 2 grandbabies, like just, this condensed the piece of coal being turned into the diamond year, right?
Mhm.
And um, getting to being able to relaunch my program in spite of all that, just saying, no, this is what I'm here to do. This is what people need to hear. This is my gift to share. Yeah, I'm going to be like the Weeble Wobble. You're going to have to do a whole lot more to knock me down and keep me from moving forward. So I love this because it's just being able to figure out, how do you walk 1,000 miles one step at a time? That's what you said. What can you do? What can you do? What is your strength? Where can you get started? And then tripling your corporate salary within 90 days. Hello, I'm celebrating. What a
It was
beautiful
fantastic.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't that hard.
Mm.
And there was some sacrifice as far as for the first 90 days. I made pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
So luckily I had saved money so I could pay my rent every month for those 90 days and food. And I just wasn't frivolous. It's like, okay, this is what it is. And I'm not staying here. And like I was just
Yeah.
so clear. And that's where a lot of people get stuck too, I see. It's like in order to grow something new, typically there is some sort of letting go process that's necessary. And it might not be the ideal scenario or situation. And it's what will move the needle faster if you just allow it to happen and trust that when your intention is clear and you have your vision and you have your plan, that you're going to get to the other side of that really quick. Because there's a lot of people trying to shortcut success. And I say all the time, you can't put the cart before the horse. There's no shortcutting success. If anyone's trying to sell you a program that's shortcutting success, run,
Yes.
run away. Because you're probably going to have not the best experience.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's just my opinion. That's just my belief.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, like it gets to be fun, it gets to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
And there are things that we get to let go of. You could call it sacrificing, whatever language resonates with you to build something great. I don't know one person on the planet that's built something exceptional without giving up a lot.
Yeah.
And
But it comes back to, what prices are we willing to pay?
Yeah.
that's
And
the way you coach it, saying it in that language.
yeah.
Exactly. And there's always there's prices when you're living a broke life. There's prices when you're living a millionaire life. It doesn't matter. So what side of the street do you want to live on? I want to go live in the mansion, not in the. You're gonna have. That's like something that people I don't think about. It's like, no, there's prices to pay wherever you're at, and which I'd rather pay the prices over there where
Yeah.
I'm more in my energy, I'm thriving, I'm living more of a life full of experiences that I value, and versus I'm stuck in like my basic needs not even getting met. Like just take your pick, because it's not like you get to this place where you make more money and problems just stop all of a sudden. It's like
Right.
life just is perfect. Absolutely not. You just now have an ability to withstand challenges in a different way than you had before.
Yeah.
That's
So
that's
Katie,
what financial freedom is to me. It's that.
so what goes on internally? Because, I'm just thinking of the leaders listening to this, listening to you. And there's also that internal dialogue. There's the subconscious that's often, running the show. And again, it goes back to what I said, like what I admire in you is just how quick you make decisions and you move forward. And as we know, is there a motto? Is there something that you say to yourself when you're up against the resistance, when of course the brain tries to keep you safe where you are, that supports you with like staying the course. We've been talking a lot about this actually over the last couple of weeks when we're recording. It's like staying in the course, because life's gonna life, and you're gonna get things are gonna happen, right? Carol explained what's been going on for her this past year, right? And so like talk about resistance, talk about life really trying to like keep you safe.
Yeah.
So how do you continue to coach yourself to continue to stay in the step, to continue to move forward? Because we know the brain likes safety and familiarity, which even though it doesn't serve you, right? Shack or mansion, that's just also what you know to like as of that moment to be true. So to keep going forward to I mean, the word persevere came, but it's just like for you, I mean, I would say like you have such amazing blinders on, but this also comes from your level of leadership, and you have so much evidence behind you that's really supporting you moving forward. So how do you, what do you have? Yeah, that whole internal dialogue, and how do you support and coach yourself through this to keep on going?
Yeah, there's a couple of things with that. I think the first thing is I've really built an unstoppable environment. That's first.
Yeah.
Like there's no like that has to be there first. So if I don't have like you're one of them, you're one of the people in my corner that are part of my environment. All my coaches, everyone within my company, like we all have high levels of leadership, and we support each other, and we coach each other, and we're honest with each other, and we lead with integrity, and we're not afraid. That's the vibe of the company. We're not afraid to have honest, raw conversations with each other. I really encourage that. I'm like, yo, talk to me. We got to be honest with each other. Like and I'm also not someone who has my feelings hurt very easily. I appreciate direct communication. I value it, actually. It might sting a little sometimes, that's normal. But I get over it really quick because I'm just focused. I think of everything, I guess part of it is like the environment set up to win, where I'm not allowing, like if I am getting into my own way, there's someone who I'm either going to figure it out very quickly, or someone else is going to nudge me very quickly, because I've really created the environment to feel safe to be able to do that, and to actually have the infrastructure, the real human set up where they actually are around me enough to know what's going on, and they can also feel when something is off. And I'm not afraid to ask for help. I've actually literally never ever in my life been afraid to ask for help.
Ooh, I love that.
To a point where I've lost friends over it. It's interesting. Like back, like I used to have like friends say, man, you just ask for too much. You ask for too much. And I said, well, I said, well, why are you triggered by that? Because you could just say no.
Yeah.
I'm not friends with them anymore.
That's their story.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not afraid to ask for help, because I believe that everyone has a voice, and if they don't want to do something, then say no.
Yeah.
But if I don't ask, so I think that's also part of it. Like, I'm not afraid to ask for help. And I don't know where that came from. I've just never been, it's just like, it's never been a thing for me. And it's definitely a thing for some people. And that's what we help coach people through, is like that fear of letting someone down, or being too needy, or this or that, or blah, blah, blah. I don't know why I haven't had that. Maybe it's because I'm the oldest and I'm like, okay, part of that being the oldest is you just take charge, and you got to make sure that things are good, and you're willing to do whatever it takes. But I'd say like another piece of it for me is I've really worked on resilience. When I think of like identity shifts, what are those key identity pieces? I embody resilience on a daily basis, all the time. And that's something that I've worked on my whole life. And again, I think that has something to do with me being the oldest.
Yeah.
And just being put in a position to, like, Katie, like, you got to take care of your brothers. I'm working, my parents, or we're going through a divorce, so I'm going to need your help. It's like that when I was a kid, where it's like, okay, like you just learned to be resilient, because there was really no other option. And taking that forward, healing the wounds of that and taking the good parts of that forward into business. Talk about unleashed and unstoppable. That I think is a core character trait for someone to be successful in life and successful in business, is to build resilience. And that's just your ability to bounce back when life gets hard. and not get emotionally spun out. Because most of the time when life gets hard, that's what's the block. It's the emotional spin out. That's getting everyone stuck. It's not even like a physical thing most of the time. It's internal. It's I
Yeah.
don't know how to handle. I'm anxious. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I can't stop thinking about it. I'm angry. This and that. So now I'm yelling at everyone that I love inside my family. And working on that too has been a game changer for me. I used to have a bad temper. I still can have one. But it's like 1,000 times better than what it used to be for sure. And that's been a lot of the coaching and training that I put myself through. When I really started that stuff, I was like 23 years old because I could tell that was like a how do I want to say it? Like a bridge, a gap I got to close.
Yeah.
If I can manage how frustrated I get and work on my patience and compassion and empathy, which are the ones like the identities that shifts that are the most challenging for me. If I can really put that front and center, I know my life will change. I'll be a happier person and I'll be able to be even more resilient and enjoy my life so much more. And all the things will fall into place. So like that's what we do with our clients, right? We're figuring out like, okay, what's in the gap? And if we could just focus on strengthening some of these core pieces internally, all of a sudden, it's not becoming a different person. I don't believe that. That's not really what it's about. It's more like unleashing what's already there that you haven't known how to access yet because you just weren't taught those skills. Or you weren't in an environment that allowed that to be facilitated before. So,
Stepping into your true identity.
Yeah.
One that's been buried under all the layers. And
correct.
Yeah, beautiful. That's so powerful. It's so interesting too, because, we do just get these layers of gunk. And one of the things that I really hear in what you're saying is when we're operating in the anger and the frustration, it may be legitimate. We may have been victimized in some way, but also understanding that we're actively creating our reality. And that is very low vibe energy. And so we will continue to attract those things to us and continue to manifest that in our lives when we're not doing the internal work of changing that around. When we change it around and we elevate that vibe, that's when we start to experience a different life. We've start writing a new story that shows up and we start to go, wow, this is awesome. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said earlier, challenges come along, but which side of the fence do I want to be on? I mean, that's a very motivating thing to say to ourselves, right? When we're experiencing those challenges. Do I want to stay in low vibe energy? Do I want to stay in this state and continue to create this state? Or do I want over here where it's going to be really, really fun and cool? And I get to deal with things that are happening over in that lane of life.
Well, and we know, like with the neuro science behind it, right? The interruption of it is so important. And I'd love to transition and talk a little bit about your retreats, Katie, because I know this is something that's very unique to your coaching. I know there's not a lot of coaches out there that offer this as part of the coaching packages. A lot of coaches offer retreats, but I know firsthand because I did the research and I was part of, helping build part of your website. So I know this for a fact. There's from my understanding, you are one of the only coaches out there that doesn't just offer retreats, but it is actually part of the coaching package. And I'd love for you to share why it's so important to you, because it goes back. I mean, I know that part of it goes back to, again, your vision for what you're creating for your clients, but I also love to understand a little bit unpacking like where the vision came from, because there isn't really anybody else out there doing it like you're doing it.
Yeah. So I started being nomadic 8 years ago.
Nomadic. I love that word.
Holy, I know. I'm like nomadic. I don't know how else to explain it, to be honest. But and it changed everything for me. Massive growth, massive expansion, 10xing myself, 10xing results, warp speed, collapsing time. I don't even know how else to explain it. Like it's like the fast track to getting out of your own way. to getting out of
Mm.
old conditioning. You're thrown into a completely different environment where you feel 100% out of control. And maybe you don't
Yeah.
even speak the language, right? Like, you know, you don't even know how to go shopping properly at the grocery store. You don't understand how to convert the currency. Like, you don't know how to get a taxi the safe way. Like, so many things. And that is what's changed. That is why I am who I am.
Yeah.
Like 100%. And that's why I have no intention of changing my lifestyle anytime soon. Even when I have children and get married and all of that, it's part of my vision. I'm not bopping around every week. I'm grounded. However, you know, like I love living in different cultures. I love living in different parts of the world. That's why it was essential for me to have those kinds of experiences built into the coaching, because it is part of the transformation process. And to be able to actually achieve a full life redesign in a year time frame, we have got to collapse time.
Yeah.
We have got to. We can't just do Zoom calls in our comfy, cozy home. That's step one. That allows us to be consistent. Okay, there's the access. But that's why we go on 2 a year, because the program's 1 year. So we have one in May, and we'll always have one in November. Why? Now we have these healthy disruptions that are built in.
Wow.
It challenges everybody to get out of their comfort zone, get out of the bubble of the Zoom, get in real relationship with people, which is also where the growth and expansion really happens. It's so easy, again, in a digital world, to sit behind the screen and to study, 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 and to learn, learn, learn. And then you're out in real life and you're still like all over the place, because there's also skills to learn in community with real people too. Like, so it's like, for my promise of the program, which is for everyone to have a completely life-shifting transformational experience, it's not an option not to have that be part of it, because I know without a shadow of a doubt how it's completely changed my life. And I purposefully make it so it's not that easy to attend on purpose, because everything that we're doing is about push yourself out of your comfort zone,
Oh,
but
that's
do it in a safe
interesting.
way. Do
Yeah.
it where, no, they want, I'm like, you'll never see me do it like I should never say never, but you know, my vision does not align with, let's go do it at like the hotel in Miami.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, no, no, no. It's out of the United States, where yes, you get to have a passport. Go figure it out. Go do that. Yes, you get to get on a plane by yourself, potentially. That's a first time experience. Now there's so many facilitated breakthroughs that you would never get in any other coaching program.
Yeah.
Just off the bat, because for some people, that's like huge. There's multiple people that just came on the retreat where they've never traveled by themselves before, and they've never traveled even out of the United States before.
Mm.
So what's happening? They're like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, one of the girls, Desiree, she's on the plane. She was crying. She's like, I've had this on my vision board for years, and now I'm doing it. Like, that's providing our clients like with this opportunity to have something that maybe, well, not maybe, that most of them would literally never do on their own, never do by themselves, if they didn't have that little push or that security of knowing that, hey, you're going to be held here. You're going to be taken care of here. You know, like, we have it all figured out. You just got to take the coaching, keep taking the coaching, and get on the plane. Because the way I do it too is I don't want them worrying about logistics and details. So I make it challenging to get there, but I don't make it challenging to be there. There's a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
The difference. Once they're there, they get picked up from the airport. We got a private chef doing everything. Our coaches everyone's there supporting them so that they can really be in receiving energy, because that's what an experience like this is. And in order to live an up-leveled life, you better get used to receiving. And if we have any receiving blocks, well, this is how we work on it for real in real time without just logically working through it. Now there's an experience to work through it. So, you know, the best way to create transformation is through real experiences, not like studying it with your brain. So the more that we can get our clients into real experiences, why we do all these different crazy activities at the retreat that sound that a little crazy, you know, but there's an intention behind everything we do. Even the fact that we dance, even on the calls every week, we dance at the beginning of every call.
I love that.
Some people probably like, what's going on? Like, it's not just the dance. It's because this is literally part of the program. It's part of the process of shifting energy and stepping into a new identity and letting go and having fun. And it's so cool to see people from the beginning to after they've been in for 6 months or a year, how they're showing up completely different on Zoom, completely different at the retreat, completely different in their lives, and the results speak for itself.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Wow.
It's night and day difference. Everyone in their lives notice it. And that's when we have all these people like, hey, like, I want to sign up for your program too, because actually that just happened this morning. Someone contacted us and they were like, this woman wanted to book a one-on-one call with us because one of her friends is in the program and she can't believe how different she is.
Wow.
And she's like, I've got to get on a call and figure out what's going on. Like, again, the results speak for itself.
Yeah.
And one really cool thing, Carol and I always talk about the power of the vision, right? And oftentimes I know with our clients, we've spoken about, it's not just making a vision, your vision board. It's about creating that 3D vision, being able to experience it, taste it, right? All the five senses, which I know we talk a lot about, right? With the life redesign clients as well. But something I always know that I have always coached my clients into, is again, kind of is the experience, right? So if they talk about the car, to actually go to the car dealership, sit in the car and actually go test drive. And that is what you have created again on the five senses. It's not just go and drive the test car. It is stay in the house, get on the plane, be surrounded by the environment, look at the resilience, break through the identity, be surrounded, receive. I went to your retreat as a coach. I was there in full giving. And the breakthroughs that I got to experience, we are in the 4-week countdown to Panama. I was talking about us moving to Panama. We said we were doing it, but the committed action of what I created after that, Katie even had me drive her car. My first reaction was like, right? She was like, go drive the car. And because I drove the car, there's so many things, like it was tiny little things, but the tiny little things that I got to experience supported me with my brain getting out my own way to get into committed action with creating, Panama. And I literally am driving and in disbelief, this is now a reality, and the things that have become created based on that. And it just, for myself, who is a master certified neuro coach and have been doing this work for so long with clients all over the place, to go and then experience a disruption like this, like nothing else can replace that. And that's what makes me so excited about what you have created, is that it's more than just coaching. And it really is that stand of interruption, really becoming that next level leader and really leading that life that you truly want, right? Like I said, I guess earlier, there's one life to live. You might as well live it to the fullest. So really to have that coaching support environment, resiliency, the love, the care, it's operating, because we know, Carol and I repeat it almost every Thursday, 95% of your daily actions, decisions come from the subconscious, and it requires you to do something different to create the different results in your life. And Katie, you're just such a beautiful walking example of not just things that Carol and I talk about, you're that proof. And oftentimes we'll say, if you don't currently believe about yourself, use some borrowed authority. And so you are that, I would say, borrowed authority for the leader, as you're listening right now, just lean into what Katie's sharing here, because whatever Katie has created, you can create it too. And it is about neurohacking the current beliefs that you're operating from to go out and really create the life you want to live and be unleashed and unstoppable.
Alex Leanne, you just to play off that too, it's leaning into the baby steps of the brain is not wired for success. It is wired for safety.
Yeah.
And that's why we're uncomfortable when we grow. And you're literally teaching the certainty of being and the safety of being in the discomfort zone in that baby step manner. Like you said, go drive the car, just the things, get a passport, and I hadn't honestly really thought through that. I've been through that experience, and I know Alex Leanne is about to experience it again in any way, even though you've also experienced that before in your past. It's so powerful to be able to accept that there's a difference between survival, trauma, the discomfort zone of that and the fear that goes along with that, to the understanding that we can be uncomfortable and very safe in certain ways. And that sets us up for success. So thank you so much for that. And I really want to highlight that, because I think that's really important, that we start to take those baby steps. Like, was it Eleanor Roosevelt, I think, who said, do something that scares you every single day, right? So
So good.
this is scaring people, and in a good and a positive way, not in a way that is, going to throw you back into survival mode or trauma mode. And I can only imagine the healings you've seen. Would you like to speak into a couple of those transformations that you've seen that have really stand out in your mind?
With clients?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I'll just talk about Kathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kathy is, oh my gosh, her journey. I think this is for time. I'll just share hers because it's pretty powerful. She came into my community like last year, and she jumped on a bunch of my trainings for free, and she'd have her camera on, she'd have her camera off, like she was there, she was not. I actually picked her she was one of our winners because she did show up the strongest on an event. Like, she allowed herself to be seen, and I noticed her. And that scared her, actually. So for a couple months, she ghosted me. She avoided me. She didn't take advantage of the gift that she received. It's really funny story.
Yeah.
And I didn't give up on the girl. I didn't give up on her. I kept texting her. I kept calling her. I said, Kathy, I feel like there's a reason why you won this. Like, let's use the call. Like, get on the call. She was afraid to talk to me. And she said that she was afraid to actually get into a conversation with me because she knew that when I got in a conversation with Katie, there was no hiding any. Because she knew how I was, which I'm super direct. And I'm not afraid to have the hard conversations with people. And that's what makes me who I am.
Yeah.
And she wasn't ready for that for a few months. And then, when you get to a point where you're so fed up with your situation that you finally are like, all right, let's see what's possible, right? And then we ended up talking. She enrolled immediately in a pay in full for the program, like pretty much threw the money at me, threw the credit card at me. It was funny how it really happened like that. And she's like, let's go. And then since she's joined the program, she joined at the beginning of the year. She has completely, like every single person in the program, night and day difference. She is leading. She is using her voice. She is standing out. She has, created crazy results in her company, but she's like leading her power squads and is just one of the most valuable members, I'd say, of the community. She has massive influence.
Wow.
And like, she's healing so many wounds. She's in her 50s. She went through a divorce. She grew up in an Asian culture, like so many wounds about how her life had to be and who she was as a person. She's completely, not even in 6 months, radically broke through that old identity and is showing up fierce, unstoppable, magnetic, and something that I'll share it because she gave me permission to share things. Like at the retreat, she shared it. All of us, I'm gonna start crying. Like, all of us started crying when she shared it. It's like, it's hard to say it because it's the real stuff. She's like, before, because we say we're actually saving lives.
Yeah.
I don't say that to be narcissistic or whatever. And I explain that.
No,
And
I'm right there with you. Same with my clients. I get that. Yeah.
And she really did save my life, you in this community, because before this, I was going to kill myself.
Yeah.
Because I just really didn't see the point.
Yeah.
And she said that the way she said it and shared it, like, shook the whole freaking room. It was at our like closing meeting, and everyone was just going around and sharing at the retreat, like, what's been like, what's been coming up for you. And it was like, it's like, yeah, this is what's possible. She got her life back. She's happier than she's ever been in her whole life. And it doesn't have to take that long because it starts with the environment. Really, it's not just me, of course not. It's Alex, it's Mel, it's everybody. It's all the other people in the community is why this is happening. It's not even necessarily what I'm saying or teaching. It's I don't think I'm saying anything that crazy. To be honest.
It's
I'm
the
just
energy of the community.
energy of it. It's the
Yeah.
way it's being led. And that's what makes or breaks success. I really think. And that's why there's some people that are crushing it, and some people have the same program, maybe even the same name, they're saying the same things, and they're not getting the lift. And it's because until they go through that experience within themselves so they can lead things and show up differently and really, woo, that's what's going to start to get the results and the attention that they're seeking.
Shout out to
So
Kathy. You
she's
matter.
amazing. She's so good. I hope she watches this.
You
Oh,
matter.
I'll definitely, Kathy, I'll be sharing this with you. And I'm Kathy's one-on-one coach, and it's to watch the transformation just like week by week and month by month. Like it's, and I just got to celebrate all of her wins, for this past quarter. And it was just, she's super intentional, super focused, and has such clarity on where she's going. And she really is redesigning her life right now.
Wow.
And taking committed, aligned action towards that. And I think, for you leader listening today, like that is really what we stand for here when we're talking about being unleashed unstoppable. And while we're here each week, every Thursday, leaning into this, right? Because we stand for you in being able to break out of the patterns, the mold, the things that are not serving the life that you want to live and lead, to be able to be unleashed unstoppable.
Yeah.
So I know we do get to wrap this up, because I feel like we could keep going forever. Katie, I know you have a beautiful gift for the audience, and like next Friday after this episode is live, you also have your Millionaire Playbook, which is something that I know you've been very passionate about this past year. So do you want to just give us a little bit brief of what the Millionaire Playbook is all about, so that you can go and register, sign up for that?
Yeah.
And then if this episode is past September 5th, you can go and take advantage of the other gift that Katie is providing you today.
Yeah, I'll share it real quick. So the Millionaire Playbook is an online virtual event with 10 millionaire, incredible, purpose-driven, heart-centered women that are very passionate about working in collaboration to ascend more women. And to not just in their businesses, but like up level our lives without sacrificing ourselves, without sacrificing our families, without sacrificing our personal lives in the process. And that was my whole vision behind putting this event together back in January. This will now be the 5th Millionaire Playbook of the year. So now this will be the, now interviewed 50 millionaire, 7-figure plus, some 8-figure, some 9-figure women that are just incredible humans. And it's a day filled with pure generosity. Everyone is really sharing their secrets to success to be able to create incredible businesses and incredible lives. We're not just talking business strategy. About 50% of it is like for real deep dive, what's really working for them in business strategy, as far as what's allowed them to pop and create incredible businesses. And then there's the other piece that's being shared too, which are the mindset shifts that they made, the leadership shifts that they made, the energetic shifts that they've made, even talking about some tactical pieces as far as how are they operating with money, and like what are like these different higher level ways of thinking that you get to start learning so that success gets to be easier. It's shortcutting that success. So it's a super powerful day. It's completely free. There's 10 sessions. They're each 30 minutes. Sign up. Sign up for it. Trust me on this. Even if you pop in for 1 or 2, you're going to be blown away. I'm like, that's the feedback I get after every single one. I can't believe this is free. This is insane. People are calling out of work because they had no idea the value. And it's not just that, it's the energy of the room. I know how to lead an event. I know how to do things. So it's like the whole day, people are blown that they're actually there for 6 hours and they're not tired, or they're not wanting to get off the screen. It's because
that's
there's
huge.
high energy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's every single time without, it's exactly like this. It's a fun day. So that's what's coming up. And please take advantage of it. It's completely for free. I don't know the next time that we're going to have one. This might be the last one of the year. Okay. And if you can't go live, then upgrade to VIP. You'll see all that on the second page and get the replay for life. Okay. Now, for everybody here, well, not everybody, for the first 10 people that book, because there's a capacity issue that's real, we're going to offer an Aligned Life Blueprint session with one of our members of our team, one of our coaches. And what we do in that session is we walk you through our 7-pillar Thrive framework, which is foundational to our clients creating crystal clear vision and clarity to then be able to create aligned goals for themselves. Aligned goals that are really based off of what they truly authentically want, not just what they think they have to do or what they need to do or what they, what they can handle. We move through the weeds really quick and we create real breakthroughs on the call in just 45 minutes. It's one-on-one, it's deep dive, it's intimate. They're life-changing experiences. We create every call to be an experience. And then the first 10 people that book into that, well, that's the gift. That's the gift for you. This is the same process we take our clients through on their one-on-one calls. It's phenomenal. And it's a way to get supported right now. If you're feeling out of alignment or not really sure how to take that next step or how to break through your glass ceiling, get on the call and let us do our job to peel back the layers and see what can open up for you with that support.
Wow.
That's perfect timing because we're heading into like the last quarter of the year as well when this episode is live. So it's a beautiful opportunity to take advantage of a call like that. Well, Katie, it's been so phenomenal having you here today. We'll have all the links in the show notes to be able to grab the call and jump on the Millionaire Playbook. Anything final that you want to share that will, for the leader listening today to be unleashed and unstoppable?
Just go for it. It's like, think about the number one thing that you've been avoiding over the last week, and immediately after listening to this episode, just go and take action into it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah.
Boom. And then you'll get so much out of this, and it won't be something that you just listen to and we're like, yeah, that was cool. Now you have a real tangible result. Boom. It can be that simple.
I love it. Thank you so much for being with us and for the power of that. It's been wonderful to have you, wonderful to hear what's possible, and those transformations and your unique voice and gifts and the way you're bringing this into the world and being connected with us here, us being in the light of your energy about this. It's just really appreciate you. So thank you.
Thank you.
And leader, you're not here to follow the rules. You're here to rewrite them with belief, boldness, and wealth that aligns.
That's right. And there's a neuro wealth method created especially for you to close the gap, to step into that 7-figure realm. I run a private program. Get on a call with me. And this is not a hard sell. This is something where we just get to chat and see if this is in alignment for you to step into the higher realm of finance that you want to experience and to live.
And your website, well, it's to reflect that because your expertise changes lives and it's time that more people got to hear it. So until next time, stay unleashed and unstoppable. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Unleashed Unstoppable podcast with your hosts, Alexandra Carter and Carol Register.
If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review and subscribe.
That's all for this episode, Wildly Ambitious Leaders. See you next week.